Have you ever wondered why the quiet snow-covered trails of Mount Sparkle always begin to glow with a soft, golden light as midnight approaches? Or why a sweet, shy Alolan Vulpix stood alone at the edge of the dark pine forest with tiny icy tears glistening on her fluffy cheeks? Tonight, under a vast, velvety night sky filled with millions of twinkling stars, a magical midnight secret is waiting to be uncovered. High above the forest canopy, resting on the highest snowy peak, a magnificent floating crystal known as the Star Gem pulses with a comforting, warm energy, sending gentle waves of light down into the shadows. Yet, despite the magical beauty calling out to her from above, taking even a single step onto the mountain path feels like an overwhelming journey for the little white fox. All around her, the whispering pine woods are alive with cozy nighttime sounds. Hanging from the low branches of the trees, oversized, glowing pecha berries swing back and forth in the cool evening air like tiny, amber-colored lanterns, casting a rich, warm orange glow over the damp grass below. The air is thick with the soothing scent of crushed pine needles, sweet berries, and fresh crisp night dew. Sitting on a smooth moss-covered stone nearby is Pikachu, wrapped tightly in a thick hand-knitted yellow wool scarf that warms his chin. His bright, glossy black eyes shine with curiosity as he watches the starlight reflect off the calm, clear waters of a nearby pond. But as Pikachu turns his attention toward his friend, he notices her 6 elegant snow-white tails trembling softly in the quiet breeze. Alolan Vulpix is not shivered by the cool temperature. Her icy fur is naturally made for the cold. Instead, her heart is heavy with a deep, silent worry. She gazes up at the sparkling summit, afraid that her frosty, freezing breath might accidentally shatter the delicate, glass-like star gem before her secret wish can ever be heard by the night sky. The ancient legends, spoken by the older Pokémon in the valley, say that whoever can reach the frosty altar on the peak before the midnight moon reaches its absolute highest point will be granted their heart's truest, most honest desire. As the pale silver moonlight slowly shifts across the glittering snowdrifts, the precious minutes of the night are steadily ticking away. Why is Alolan Vulpix carrying such a heavy fear inside her gentle heart? And what is the mystery behind her silent midnight wish that makes the distant gem glow so warmly whenever she looks up? Seeing his friend's sadness, Pikachu steps off his mossy stone without a second thought. His red circular cheeks give off a tiny, welcoming spark, illuminating the dark edge of the woods with a soft, cheerful yellow light. He gently nudges Alolan Vulpix's side, letting her know that she will not have to walk the dark, mysterious path up Mount Sparkle by herself. With Pikachu's warm presence beside her, the little fox takes her first brave steps out of the forest shadows and onto the crisp, crunching snow. Together, they leave 2 neat rows of tiny paw prints in the fresh winter frost, setting off on a quiet quest filled with wonder, cozy warmth, and unexpected surprises hidden just around the bend. As they venture deeper into the quiet trail, the soft crunch of snow beneath their paws rhythmically fills the nocturnal air, blending with the gentle whispering of the wind through the tall, frosted evergreen branches. Every few steps, the thick forest trees part just enough to give them a breathtaking view of the valley below, where small sleepy villages rest beneath a blanket of silvery mist. But as the path begins to slope upwards, becoming steeper and more treacherous, the quiet atmosphere is broken by a sudden, frantic rustling coming from a thick cluster of snowy bushes just off the main path. Out from the shadows steps Psyduck, waddling awkwardly while holding a oversized woven basket tightly in his chubby yellow arms. Inside the basket sit several round, freshly baked oranberry cookies, their sweet, fruity aroma wafting through the crisp night air and instantly making Pikachu's nose twitch with delight. Psyduck had decided to follow his friends in secret, determined to act as a brave, reliable mountain guide and supply provider for their midnight journey. However, as Psyduck attempts to strike a proud, confident pose on a smooth, frozen rock, his webbed feet fail to find traction on the slick, icy surface. With a wide-eyed look of utter panic and a muffled, surprised quack, Psyduck loses his balance entirely. He falls backward onto the steep, snowy incline, instantly transforming into a giant, rolling snowball as he tumbles down the gentle slope. Down and down he rolls, gathering fresh powdery snow with every turn, until he comes to a sudden, soft stop, right at the base of a fluffy snowdrift. When the powdery cloud clears, Psyduck slowly sits up, completely unhurt, but looking hilariously bewildered. With a tall cone of snow balanced perfectly on top of his head, like a silly frozen party hat, the ridiculous sight breaks the quiet tension instantly. Alolan Vulpix lets out a soft, tinkling giggle that sounds like tiny silver bells ringing in the cold air. Her previous worries momentarily melting away under the joy of the wholesome moment. Even Psyduck cannot help but blink his tiny black eyes and tilt his head in confusion, letting out a satisfied, sleepy quack as he offers Pikachu and Vulpix one of the slightly crushed oranberry cookies from his basket. With their spirits lifted and their bellies warmed by the sweet treat, the trio turns back toward the summit, ready to face whatever mysteries await them. Higher up the mountain, higher and higher they climb, the temperature dropping with every step as the gentle mountain path transforms into a frozen winter wonderland. Glowing crystal icicles hang from the high cliff ledges above, catching the pale silver moonlight and scattering rainbow reflections across the deep, untouched snow. The air up here is completely still, silent, and intensely cold, making every breath visible as soft, floating clouds of white vapor. Yet, just as the shimmering summit appears within their line of sight, their progress comes to a sudden and complete halt. Blocking the narrow pass entirely is a massive, impenetrable wall of ancient blackberry brambles, completely encased in a thick, solid layer of crystal-clear glacier ice. The sharp thorns beneath the ice glow with a faint, ominous chill, creating an impassable barrier that seals off the high altar where the glowing star gem rests. Alolan Vulpix steps closer, her tiny paws sinking into the soft powder as she gazes up at the imposing wall. She lets out a soft, frosty breath, attempting to blow a gentle breeze to test the barrier. But the icy brambles remain frozen solid, refusing to yield. With the midnight moon rapidly approaching its highest point in the night sky, a heavy sense of urgency hangs in the air. Time is running out, and the glowing blue crystal beyond the wall begins to pulse faster, signaling that the magical window for the midnight wish is about to close forever. Psyduck nervously holds his head with both hands, letting out a soft, worried quack, while Alolan Vulpix turns her sapphire eyes toward the ground, her 6 fluffy tails drooping as her fear of failure returns. Seeing the sadness in his friend's eyes, Pikachu steps forward with calm determination, his mind working quickly to find a peaceful solution, instead of resorting to a harsh, destructive attack that might damage the delicate ecosystem or hurt the ancient brambles. Pikachu scans the immediate surroundings. His eyes land on a large, smooth, metallic rock resting right at the base of the frozen barrier. Walking up to the heavy stone, Pikachu places his yellow paws firmly against its surface and closes his eyes in concentration. With a soft, controlled hum, he releases a precise, gentle thunder shock directly into the metallic rock. The stone acts as a natural heating conductor, quickly absorbing the electrical energy and converting it into a deep, radiating thermal warmth that spreads outwards like a cozy, invisible blanket. Slowly, the intense heat begins to thaw the frozen wall from the bottom up. The solid glacier ice encasing the brambles turns into soft, glistening water drops, dripping gently onto the snow like a rhythmic summer rain. As the ice vanishes, the sharp thorns automatically relax and curl back, opening up a beautiful arching doorway right through the center of the brambles. The rising steam carries the fresh, sweet fragrance of thawed blackberries through the chilly air, creating a warm, fragrant mist that fills the narrow pass. With the path to the summit completely clear and the way open, Pikachu turns to Alolan Vulpix with a reassuring smile, inviting her to take the final steps toward her long-awaited wish. Stepping through the fragrant, steaming archway, Alolan Vulpix, Pikachu, and Psyduck finally emerge onto the pristine, glistening summit of Mount Sparkle. Before them stands the ancient stone altar, upon which the magical star gem floats gracefully in midair. The gem, hovering just inches above the smooth, frosted marble surface, bathes the entire peak in a soft, dreamy sapphire glow. As the pale midnight moon reaches its absolute zenith directly overhead, The floating crystal begins to pulse with an extraordinary deep golden radiance, casting long, peaceful shadows across the sparkling snowdrifts. Alolan Vulpix slowly steps forward, her tiny, delicate paws making soft, rhythmic crunching sounds in the powdery snow. Her heart beats with a gentle flutter as she looks up at the magnificent, warm light. For so long, she had carried the silent fear that her chilly nature and icy breath made her too cold to fit in, worrying that her presence would distance her from others. But as she reaches the altar, she takes a deep, calm breath, her eyes reflecting the gentle golden starlight above. She reaches out her fluffy snow-white snout and softly touches the surface of the star gem. Instantly, the crystal dissolves into a breathtaking wave of shimmering, warm golden light that cascades across the entire mountain top like a blanket of glowing starlight. The magic does not grant a physical gift or power. Instead, it reveals the answer to the big mystery of the night. Alolan Vulpix's true, deep wish was never about changing who she was or gaining magical abilities. It was simply the quiet hope to find true, warm-hearted friends who would accept her just as she is, sharing peaceful nights and joyful adventures together so she would never feel lonely in the vast, snowy world again. As the golden light gently settles over the trio, a soothing warmth envelops the chilly peak. Psyduck lets out a long, contented sigh, his eyes heavy with sleep as he curls up right where he stands, resting his head on his chubby arms. Pikachu sits down beside Alolan Vulpix, wrapping a corner of his warm knitted yellow scarf gently around her shoulders. The little icy fox purrs softly, her 6 fluffy white tails wrapping neatly around her feet as she nestles close to Pikachu's side, feeling completely safe, cherished, and warm. High above, the mountain wind slows to a tranquil, rhythmic whisper, like a soft lullaby singing through the pine trees below. The stars twinkle gently in the deep navy sky, watching over the sleeping friends on the quiet peak. If you loved this cozy night adventure and want to drift off to more relaxing Pokémon bedtime stories every single night, please remember to hit that subscribe button, leave a sweet like, and join our sleepy trainer family today for endless cozy dreams.